Yes, everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of the new series, the Flipbook, where I go through and edit my photos from last night's or yesterday's match day. So first, if you don't know anything about me, if you just stumbled across this on YouTube, my name's Charlie and I'm one of the club photographers at Chester FC, who are in the National League North. If you don't follow non-league, that is step 2, I believe. So last night we played Hereford in a league match, and we lost 5-2. It was a bit of a weird game and maybe a tough one to take. So let's just go through the photos. I'm obviously not going to go for every single one, there's 200. I'm currently shooting on a 2000D at the moment because my R7. So the pictures are a little bit naff, I'm going to say, to a degree. So I shot in RAW, just because it was the only way I could really try and save them post-match, I think, with it being low light. I do shoot f2.8 and it's a good lens and all that, as my R7 pictures do show, I think, quite well. But unfortunately with an old DSLR it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me. So let's go through some of the pictures. Let's talk about some of the moments from the game. Yeah, looking at this first picture of Finn Trimpton, it's quite good. It's a little bit rough around the edges, I think. Sorry if it's a bit laggy as well. I've not actually ever edited on this PC before. I normally do it on my Mac, but to record it on this, it was probably a little bit easier, I think. I do have a lot of presets down here. Some are paid, arguably the worst ones, but some are quite good. I use them. That one could look quite good if we go through and denoise it, because it's RAW. That's why I shot in RAW, because the automatic denoiser inside of Lightroom is something else. It's ridiculous. It's really good. So I'll let this denoise now. So it's finished denoising. So if we look at this picture of Finn Trimpton now, I think it's a lot better. Again, when you zoom in, it's a little bit, the quality's not the best, that's just what's going to happen. The camera that I've got, but I'd argue that picture's now been saved, to be honest. Obviously if you go and turn it up, then if you go into the sharpening up, then it'll still denoise it a little bit. It kills the background as well, which is what I quite like. So it can make your pictures look half decent when they're taken on a bit of a naff camera. I'm going to go through and edit all the photos that I want to keep, and I'll come back and we'll talk about them and different moments of the game. Hello, so we are back. All the pictures have been edited. As you can see, we've got 40 that we're keeping. It took me well over an hour and a half to edit these, just because of how slow the PC is and the AI denoising. But anyway, so back on this picture of Finn Trimpton. It looks decent, I think. Let me go if you zoom back out. It looks decent, I think. Oh, I just didn't kill me all set up. I think it looks pretty cool. Move on to the next one. I'll zip through quite a lot of these again, apart from the ones that are a little bit more important. Picture of Calmac, Luke Davis, a coach, and then Bambo and Pearsy. Bambo and Pearsy both injured at the moment. Just having a little chat. Again, it's not the best quality, but I've saved it compared to what it was, which I think I actually can see what it was originally. So if you look at it like that, that's what it was, without the denoising as well. So we've managed to bring a bit more of that that other light in, and then that's what the noise was. Take it off, there we go. So we've got a nice picture out of that, I think, that's definitely usable. Just some little warm-up ones again. I'm going to kind of zip through these. I like this one because the sand in the back. I don't love these rugby markings on the floor. They're a little bit annoying, but it happens when you're playing it, when Hereford are playing at a rugby ground at the moment. One of Kev Roberts here. It's a bit soft again, but I did a subject mask to make him stand out a little bit more and dim the background. Pumped up his shadow a little bit as well to make that pop a little bit. Yeah, so he pops in this picture, which is nice. So your eyes instantly goes to him, not something in the background, I think, which is what I want to. I mean, I'm not going to try and coach you, but I think looks good on photos. Obviously, you go for a more natural look on some. This is a little warm-up one. Again, more of a natural look, but again, make the players pop. A nice picture. Again, happy with this one. This one, whether it gets posted or not, I don't know. But it was literally just quite a far. So you can see it's quite a far out one originally. And then I've obviously gone in. That's what it looked like as well, and then that was the noise, which was horrendous. Take that off, and we've got An alright looking black and white picture. Whether I'll use it again, I don't know. By the way, if you do want to see the post, it's visuals by _Charlie on TikTok, on Instagram, and that's where I post all my pictures after every game. And then post some additional ones that don't get seen. Here's a one with a Finn Rabbit. Once again, just bringing the black part of the image down. Brought the blacks down in the background here. Did a subject mask on Finn, made him pop. This is Finn Rabbit, it's not Shrimpton. Made him pop so you can see his face. It's good, detail is good. Again, if you look at the original photo on this one, you can already see the difference. So we have brought the background in, but it's still darker than it would have been, if that makes any sense to anybody. But yeah, that's the original image, and that's what it looks like now. Again, made Finn a bit brighter. And again, the denoise that you can use on Lightroom is outrageous. That's what it was. And I've got a pretty decent image out of that, I think. It's not, again, if you zoom in dead close, it's not the best, but I'm not, you know, Instagram kills your photos anyway, really, so. This is a big one that I managed to save. It's one of two lads with their flags. That's a brilliant flag, by the way. Again, yeah, managed to save this, really happy with it. If I show you again how dark it was, that's how dark it was. And then that's what the noise was like, which is horrendous compared to what that is now. Is a nice usable image of fans, which you always want. So yeah, did the exact same thing with this picture here. Again, just bring it to life more, denoise it. It is a little bit soft, you can kind of notice it. I think in the creases here, and maybe this is just me that can notice it. People will look at this and think it's a decent image. I don't love the scoreboard in the background, but I wanted a different image of the fans that wasn't in the stand, so I got this instead. Moving on to walkouts, I'm undecided on this image. Again, I think it's a bit too soft maybe around the edges, and it's not sharp, like proper crisp quality, but I'm not going to get that on this camera, which is a little bit annoying. Especially with lighting at night and stuff. Again, it is f2.8, but with the shutter speed it's got to be for football, which I don't really like to go below 1/1000. Yeah. Another walkout picture of Michael Kelly and Pat Jones. Obviously you've got Kay Roberts and Phil Cogger in the back as well. I like this one. It was a lot bigger of an image, so you know, you had Dylan in the side of it as well, but I cut him out a little bit just to get the focus on these sort of four. This is quite a good one. I like the ones where it's like quite zoomed out. I'm a City fan, as you can see by the pillow in the back, and they post a lot like these, where you've got a white, quite, it's almost like it's been taken on a shorter lens, if that makes sense. But I really like it. You can see Tom Leake and Phil Croker, obviously, with the result. It's not the best, but still a nice picture. So I probably will use that one. Nice one of Connor Woods here, taking his man on. Again, denoised it. Michael Kelly on a free kick. Pat Jones. Actually, I forget my stall quite a lot if it's not a home game, and I leave it at the ground quite a lot. And I didn't have it last night, so I made an effort of trying to move around a bit more. If I'd have had my R7, there was a big stand, I'd have gone up in that. But with this, it wouldn't have looked good. Because the R7 is, when you shoot in RAW, you can crop in like mad. It's so much better than something like this. And obviously the camera, it's a better camera, so the noise wouldn't have been as bad. So I would have done that with this, but it's not great, so I didn't. Nice picture. This will probably get used. Good detail. This is very close. It's why I went on the sideline to try, because Pat does this quite a lot. Where we'll get into a tussle with a defender, and then I think the ball went out for a goal. It went out for a goal kick or a corner. I can't remember which one. But sometimes he'll spin them and then go across the box where my mouse is now, and then put it across the box. Hereford Roberts, nice picture of that. I could have zoomed in more, but again, I kind of like it how there's a bit of a background. I don't like to go too far in too much. But yeah, there's that. One of week's, not the best focus, so probably won't get used. That one might do. Now this is where I switched it up for the penalty. I've never actually gone behind the goal for a penalty. It's something I might do a little bit more now. Because we are, touch wood, quite decent for the penalty spot. So I went behind the penalty spot and got the goal, sorry, and got these Woodsy's penalty to make it 2-2. Good picture of that, because I like how you can, like, he's almost like it's like a standoff between him and the keeper, because obviously what you want to do with your pictures is basically tell a story, and I feel like that kind of does it. It's a bit of a standoff. And then I like this one where the ball's in the net, he can see the balls, and you can see him looking type thing, if that makes sense. So it's a goal, and then you can see him sort of running. I think he went to celebrate and then went and got the ball because he realised it was 2-2, not 2-1. But that one will get used. I'm quite happy with that one. Nice one of DMH. Another one of a shot. I think might have been saved. This is one of Michael Kelly that I'm probably going to use instead. But I like how the ball is in the picture. Again, just bringing the background in a little bit, because that looks weird, but when you bring the background in, it looks a bit more natural. And then the last one of Finchrimpton. There you go. So that is it. I'll do a thing where I pick a favourite image from each game if you want. I know it's lagging a little bit. Next time I'll be using the MacBook, so it'll probably hopefully be a lot better, which is kind of weird that my massive PC is worse than my Mac, but is what it is. But I probably pick this one. I don't think this one will be the cover, because I want this to be a whole image rather than just like a little thing. And I always post from an app called Scroll, which you can like put into collages and that. So, but yeah, thank you for watching the first episode of the Flipbook. I'd like to go through a lot better and show you me editing them, but for some reason the PC needs upgrading. But it's a bit, I had a bit of a mare today, so that'll happen after Saturday's game when I edit them photos, which I probably will edit them on Saturday. But thank you all for watching. Up the seals, and follow my Instagram, Visuals by Charlie, and same for the TikTok, to see any content that I do post. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.